Hey now, Jake with AttractionSequence.com, where I help modern women navigate the increasingly complicated dating landscape, where quality men have more options than a Netflix menu, where happily committed monogamy seems to be completely out the window, and women feel more ignored than ever before. And on top of that, we all got our own weight to deal with. So let me help you shine some light on some blind spots that has love turning a blind eye and leaving you to figure out to be happily single on your own. Let's change that today. Because there are a few things that women might not realize they're doing that is causing great men to either pull away or find an early red flag that unfortunately makes them avoid you entirely. This is for you, whether you think your dating life is truly hunky-dory or you're finding yourself caught in a pattern of great guys that you really like who are finding the exit, or the other pattern of low-quality men who you just don't enjoy and you're glad they found the exit. So in this video, I'm going to cover the 3 reasons why you might find a great relationship ending too soon. First and foremost, you're attracted to the same qualities that causes your man to push you away. For example, you found yourself in the arms of a successful entrepreneur who runs a business, carries the weight of the world on his shoulders. Well, the very attractive qualities of him being successful, of him being ambitious, of him having options and choice and abundance are exactly what can cause him to drift from you. The long hours and long nights can mean that he cannot fully prioritize you without all of his years of effort and dedication and sacrifice to come crashing down before he's ready. He might also be very charismatic, and that can mean that other women want to meet him. He might cross the line with you even though he's just being himself and is getting that rush of feeling desired that abundance provides. It's become a part of him that haunts him at night because he knows he needs to let it go, yet it brings him so much surface level of fulfillment and a false sense of purpose. It's like a welcoming distraction to him. It's a distraction that he finds home in. It's this feeling of he's got it, and he better enjoy it while he still can. Okay, that could be for anything, by the way. And he won't have the time for you that he wish he did. And these are the very qualities that you might find highly attractive in the beginning and feel that separates him from all the other men out there. Yet they are the very qualities that over the long run will push you away. Secondly, is when you find your happiness outside of yourself, when you give away your own happiness. The best way to be happy together with someone else is to be comfortable being happy on your own. And that's typically the moment that you find a man who sweeps you off your feet, the moment you decided to focus on being happy alone. Now, you have to take responsibility for your own happiness and your own well-being. Trying to find a man who can make you happy is like relying on drugs to stay sober. And I mean that also very literally. There are people who turn to the euphoria of marijuana over the grain of alcohol. You're chasing after one high to replace another. Now, I just want to throw a caveat out there. I'm not saying that those are, one of those are good, one of those are bad, or anything like that. Just making an example. Because, this can show up in various forms. If you're feeling lonely, you might look to your man to bring you comfort and bring you validation, even if it's just wanting him to text you back, even just seeing his text there. If you're feeling angry, you want to have a man who can come and be there to console you. You want a man who can be a part of your emotional support system and not to be dependent on getting all of your emotional needs from simply one person. Otherwise, this creates what's known as obsessive passion, which is love's tragic opposite that eventually suffocates couples who are deeply in love and smothers an otherwise amazing romance. So this is the secret to understanding why great guys leave and how to get him back. If you want to learn more about this, go to passionprotocol.info to understand the 3 steps to have a great guy come running back to your arms. Now, the last one, and certainly not the least, is becoming too emotionally attached too quickly and a bit too intensely. Now, you might have had a bad deal with abandonment as a child. Maybe you had that early moment in soccer or softball where you scored a point and you looked over to see your parents who weren't there. Maybe you had a few too many moments where you really needed your parents most and they weren't available to you as you were growing up. So as you learn to navigate the world, you understand that you come to understand and you come to have this belief that you cannot depend on the very people who care about you most. And throughout your life, you were constantly given reminders that the people that you want to depend on won't be there in the way that you hope and wish they could be. Even when things were great, even when you were celebrating, but the people that you wanted to celebrate with you most, they weren't with you. So if so, you're going to have this tendency to overextend yourself, to try to pull people towards you, and have an unexplainable emotional impulse to want to keep them close. And as a result, the men you attract will be those who validate your subconscious beliefs, what is normal or accustomed to you. They will be men who also deal with abandonment, who also deal with issues involving commitment, and men who do not give themselves to you or anyone fully. And strangely enough, when you do have a man who does give himself to you and he does give you his full attention, you'll actually lose interest. You'll feel uncomfortable with it, and you won't know why. Because when you don't have someone's approval and you're constantly reaching for it, and you live a kind of a lifetime where you kind of feed off that impulse of wanting that attention, that feeling of wanting, but when it's always there, you almost don't know how to cope with it. It's unnatural and it's foreign. So if this is you, you have to remind yourself that you are not your past. You are not your childhood. You can open your heart safely with the understanding that you are breaking an old set of habits and beliefs. So you have to make some small changes as you're going through the initial stages of a new relationship. You'll have to understand how to attract a healthy, secure man and know in your heart when you've found a great guy. And have your eyes wide open to any of his early flags that are often easily overlooked if you don't fully know what you're looking for. If you'd like my help, look in the description for the links that show you exactly how to get the romance that you want.